You kill him with your right leg. He's got to start to learn your right leg and left rein means, damn it, you're going to be on the bit. Okay, so start with a little bit of ball. But you're saying right hind leg, stay soft. Right hind leg, stay soft. And as long as he's soft, then you can relax the exercise a little bit. But and not faster. Sideways, 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 side. And then he can get really pissed at your right leg and not so pissed at your hand. Yeah, that's right. Good job. Okay. Now walk when you're ready. Keep pushing him sideways as you walk so his neck stays low. Don't let him run in the walk. Sideways, sideways, so he doesn't run. That will help him slow down. Yes. And now come towards the middle and start to change, so you're going to go off the left leg. The goal for today is going to be that we can do like serpentines and shoulder ins and things like that and keep this suppleness. Now, he's a little behind the vertical, so you're going to give him a little kick with the left leg that says up and out, but not grabbing me up and out. That's better. Still sideways. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can just swing him to the trot, posting or sitting. Keep the right rein. Nice. Yep, walk again. He had too much forward and not enough sideways, so he still grabbed you a little bit sideways. Keep the right rein, though. Whoa, on the right rein. You cannot run away from your left leg. How slow can he swing into the trot? Yeah, put your left leg on. Yeah, make it about the left leg. Oh, life's tough because I have a left leg. Doesn't matter. Yes. Yes. And he still could fall down a little more in the neck on the right side. So this way it looks like you'll have to go back and forth a little bit, left bending, and then sometimes flexing him to the right sometimes, just to make sure that the right rein he's not running through. Yeah, and you want to feel the trot almost like that. That
was his choice.
Yeah, I know it was, but that when you trot, you sort of feel it in your body before he trots, that you sort of swing, like you animate the walk, you swing a little bit, and your horse just stays right with you. Yeah, not bad. He almost left you a little bit in the dust. I want you to make sure that your aids are so refined, which is, it's such a nice thing to be able to not have to kick a horse, that you have refined aids. So then we get to learn how to really do it off of our body. Okay, now for funsies, can you give a little half halt and bend him to the right and leg yield him a little bit off the right leg, even though you're going left? Will he allow you to touch that right side and put the right hind under? Yeah. And just sit there for a second. You don't have to make it harder. You just have to say, hey, yeah. There you go. And then you can, oh, not now, but you can go back to the left bend. And you don't have to do a lot of right bend. It's more about the right hind staying ambidextrous and saying, okay, yes, sir. Because on that side of his body, he seems to be a little bit more, what's the word, not willing to let that side of his body go. And that's normal. That's right. That's right. Good. And then back to the left bend. I just don't want him to feel like when you bend him left, he's a brick on the right side. And the only reason I kind of get that sense is because when you bend him left, his neck comes up higher than when you are going the other direction and bend him right. So if you bend left and his neck is coming up too high, then I know your outside rein, meaning his outside belly and hind leg, are against you because your outside rein is not able to frame him. Yep. And then Gently back to the left bend, but really watch that he doesn't flip to the right and push right back into, yeah. He doesn't push back into that right side. Okay, so now, let's go straight ahead. Anytime you need a little half halt or a walk or almost walk because he's being a little bit heavy, then you can do that. Yeah, and here he needs a little tiny kick to come back up and out, but you need to flex him a tiny bit to the right when you do that so he doesn't drift right behind you. That's good. I like how you're doing it in little pieces. And straight ahead. Good. Okay, so his neck needs to come a little tiny, his nose needs to come slightly more out. And when he does that, I'd rather his nose be a little bit in. I want it to be perfect, but when you give him a little bit to bring his nose up and out, if he quickens and grabs the bit, then you take it back away from him and say, no, I want your nose there, but you're not allowed to take over. That's it. Not allowed to speed up. And again, a little off that right side, little tiny bit of counterflexion, say get off the right leg. Stay between my aids. Don't drift through my aids. Straight ahead again. And this is good because you don't have a wall to go straight ahead. So it's good to see if he stays between your aids or not. And if he needs a little right flexion when you go straight, fine. This is great in the neck right now. No lower. Give him a little kick. Stay up. There you go. Anytime Mr. Watson goes straight ahead, all the way around the arena. But inside the poles, because it will help you and I determine if he's between your aids, because it's not such a wall. Yeah, and anytime you need a little half halt or suppling and stretching his neck down a little bit, doesn't matter. Use your tummy muscles that he doesn't pull you out of the tack. And on the short side a little bit, true bend, counter bend. And then whenever you can, little tiny Überstreichens that you give the rein here and there. Only when you can. So again, he's drifting slightly right. Yeah. Look at the end of the arena. Pick a point to ride, channel him straight towards. That's better. And then a little counterflexion on the short side.
Stop. Let's go again. Just a bit higher and a bit slow.
Yeah.
Let's start with.
I'll just let you deal with that.
That's a mean jaw there.
That wasn't mean. Okay. Now, the next exercise, maybe you can do baby swallowns. Maybe you can go skip every other pole and kind of weave them through it a little bit. And when you do that, you can take the chance to bend him a little bit right and left. And again, try not to go too far. Try to hug him up to him a little bit. Yeah. And now bending right. And stay bending right. And stay bending right. And stay. Okay, now a little left bend. And then, that's probably what I would have done too. And then, here comes the spooky horse. Whenever you can, little Überstreichens in between things, as long as he's not taking over. The one thing that...
I didn't hear your instructions.
That's okay. I said just lots of little mini Überstreichens, even if I can't see him, as long as he's not taking over. the best you can. Okay, and then let's change direction whenever he allows you. Good choice. So you can see the right side of him is the side that needs some work at being submissive, really. And that's normal. All horses have a side that's a little bit more difficult. Actually, quite a nice transition.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy. Good job keeping him sort of moving in a little bit of a rhythm. Could you do the opposite thing at the walk or the trot on the other side, on the wall? Could you do a tail to the wall?
And which direction?
The other direction. But very good here. Just keep letting your fingertips breathe. Yeah, I like this rhythm. I'd like to see him go a little bit more forward and cover a little more ground, but I don't want him to take over. So in pieces, if you can relax a little bit to let him have a little larger stride, you can, but I highly doubt you'll be able to do it more than a handful of strides. Yep, and now tell him to stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep saying butt to the wall, half halt the left rein, butt to the wall, half halt the left rein. Oh, yeah, it's really hard. I know, buddy. It doesn't mean what you think. Walk and try it over here, maybe at the walk. And you don't have to do a ton of angle. I'd love for him to be able to do a ton of angle, but he's just not strong enough and flexible enough on that right hind to do a ton of angle. Just say, and this is good for him because what I like about it is he kind of tries to run out of it forward. So you're kind of saying butt to the wall, but you have to sort of back to the wall. You have to stay from running through my hands. So this one's going to be a particularly annoying exercise to him, but it'll probably be a very good one. And just don't make it so steep. Try it one more time at the trot, and try not to make it so steep that it's too difficult. Over time, over a couple weeks, you can make it steeper and steeper and steeper, and he'll be able to handle it. But make it a little less steep in order to have a little more friendship. Yep, no more angle. Now just say, my hips are staying on this wall, and your butt is staying on this wall, and now can you stretch? And now can you stretch? And now can you stretch? And good job. Good job. Good job. Good boy. Okay, we won't do that anymore just because he'll get really pissed if you do it too many times. Good job. And a big circle down here. Good boy. I like how you're now able to switch left and right, doing some serpentines and whatnot without him coming above the bit. He's staying more in the connection. Yep, connect him to that left side. And then keep using the left rein like a rubber band, that you kind of Gumby him down on the left rein. Gumby him down on the left rein. And he's a horse now, go a little bit forward. This would just be a goal. He's a horse, could you, like 3, 2, 1, walk one little itty bitty tiny stride, 2 tiny strides, and be able to swing him back to the trot again? That he has that adjustability. Just try it. It might not be beautiful, but it's something I want you to work towards. 1, 2, tiny strides, now little trot, little trot. Yeah, and so now he needs to have a little more suppleness in that, but not bad. Now can you go a little bit forward? Because the thing is when you go forward, he does it for a little bit, and then he kind of takes over. So then you can say, okay, and then we're going to walk for a stride. I like to see him be able to do this like quickly, like could he go almost medium trot for 10 strides and walk 1, 2 little itty bitty strides and back to the trot and medium trot, so that he has a lot of adjustability. It's not going to be beautiful right now. Good, little, yep, little trot. Okay, now a little bigger trot. And you know that your friend is using your diagonal aid to help him through this. So leg yielding through this will help him stay soft. Little, but I like to see him go to the walk like 3, 2, 1 walk, not 10 strides to the walk. He should be able to sit under a little quicker with the hop. Now, maybe today it's 7 strides, but not 10, and tomorrow it's 6 strides, but that's the goal. I'm just giving you exercises to work on. Yeah, now walk again. There I would say, no, you're not allowed to do it ugly. You're not allowed to give me the hoof. Collect through the left rein. Yep, and then whenever you're ready. So even if you have to take a little bit of extra time, you know the goal is to go medium trot, collected trot, 3, 2, 1 walk, collected trot, medium trot, that you have that adjustability. And that it's a little bit easier off your seat and a little less off your hand. Right now, it's a little more on your hand because you're having to teach them. Hello, sit down, come back, 3, 2, 1, walking, whoa, walking, little walk, tiny walk, and trotting. Yeah, good choice. Yeah, good choice. I think if you do these exercises that we're doing right here for a couple weeks, I think it will make him a lot more supple and responsive and being able to half halt off your seat. Yeah, and you're doing the right thing by saying, no, there are boundaries here. If I ask you to do it one way and you try to do it the other way, sideways, well done, sideways, well done. Let's do it we're going to go and do some canter next, but let's go to the left and do it once to the left, or a couple times to the left. Little one. Ah, good reaction behind those. Good job. And you just be kind of tough on yourself that you're like 3, 2, 1. Don't let him drag it out, just because that helps him have that gray area. It's got to be kind of black and white. When I half halt, you sit down. And little, itty bitty. He's not allowed to walk through the, yeah, now give him a kick. Say, hey, on the bit, little, but on the bit. And don't let him drift right. Don't let him drift right. And then little trot. Good choice for straightening him. Good choice for straightening him. Yeah, and this way will be a little harder. You won't be able to do it quite as quickly, but you will in time.
What?
That's right. John, I want you to think about when you go this way, making your circle an octagon. I don't think you need to do a ton of square turns, but doing lots of little mini, you know, I don't know what they'd be, not 90-degree turns, but more open than that. Yeah. But that he has to take his right shoulder and kind of pick it up and move it over to the left. And that so that he has to get off that right side a little bit. Yeah. Give him a little tiny kick, but you have to teach him when you kick him, it's not to go faster, it's to kick his neck up. Yes. And you'll see in the... What the hell was that? I'm laughing at you, John, sorry.
Choking on his phone.
Nice.
And so this way, you're going to have to decide when you go 3, 2, 1, are you going to do it off the left leg or are you going to do it off the right leg? And only you can tell which leg is the appropriate one because you'll be able to feel which way he is or isn't drifting. I have a feeling more often than not you're going to be, yeah, and little and little and little and swing him to the trot. Own that walk, get your hips in that groove so that your hips can just say, and trotting, bum, 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 bum. Very well done. Very well done. But see, your hips can't swing him to the trot if he's walking 3 feet in front of you and you're in the dust. You know? Very good. I like how that happens. What would you like to do next? Do you want to take a break and then canter?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So, what I like today is that we picked some exercises to really help his suppleness and adjustability. And a couple of them are not his favorite, but again, you can do like the tail to the wall. I really like that for him. But just start with a little bit of do it first at the walk, so he's really got it in his brain, and then start with a little lesser of an angle, and then 2 days, do it a little steeper, and 2 more days, a little steeper. Because you could have a little bit of a fight with this horse over it. And we don't want to do that. We want to teach him, not force him.
Right.
And what I saw in the beginning, you know, you came in and he was fine. He just was not very supple. He was a little bit above the bid, a little bit in front of the vertical.
Yeah.
You can warm this horse up down and really stretching. I'm fine with that. You can let him play or whatever you want to do to kind of warm him up. But what I wouldn't do is let him just be a little bit obstinate above the bit. So if you need to do lots of, you know, leg yielding out and letting him stretch down and a little canter or whatever, but I wouldn't let him be in an area where his under neck is kind of pushing up.
That's better. That's sticking his nose out.
Yeah. And you have a little better aid, it seems like, to fix it when it... I mean, he still does it sometimes here and there. Curls just a little bit. But it looks like you're really quick to help fix it, and you're able to give him a little push with your leg and him understand to do this and not to go faster. So that's really cool. He's a handsome horse.
Shh, don't say that in front of him.
Huh?
He'll get a swelled head.
Oh, yeah, he's got a swelled head.
Yeah. Big enough.
So why don't we do the hard lead first?
Thank you.
Good job. I really feel like you're starting to communicate in a good way. Nice transition. What happens if you just let him go for a second? And all I would worry about is just keeping his neck up a little bit. Don't worry too much if he's not perfect. Go gallop a little bit. Go on. He's moving a little bit. Okay, straight ahead. And then on the next long side, somewhere you're going to make a smaller circle. So in the right lead canter, for one, doesn't matter, you're going to flex him a little bit to the left. Here and there, flex him a little bit left. And that will help him jump a little bit more up and through on the right side. Good job. So, he's a little sassy. That's nice. It's nice to see. Straighten his neck, make a circle down here. I don't know that I would get after that much. Oh, you better stay cantering. That part would piss me off. Good for you. Okay, now straighten his neck on the left side. Make him much straighter on the left side. And stay on the circle. And now you're going to tone up a little bit and give some little half holds. And when he grabs you now you're going to sit into him and say, no, you're not moving me out of your way. In the beginning, when he's a little sassy and he's wringing his neck, I'd go ahead and let him just kind of play around and go forward. Now, sit down into him, take the reins a little bit, and say, no, when you are going to throw your neck around, I am not moving. Because what he wants you to do is he wants to move you up to his front end. He wants you to get up on his shoulders so that he doesn't have to use his butt, and then he can break. Okay? That's his goal. Okay, take his neck again a little bit to the left. Collect a little bit. Hands a little bit wide. Now I think it's time that he starts to be on the bit more at the canter. I think you should start to make it a little bit more of a problem that he doesn't get to just canter around like a moron. Doesn't matter. You're going to sit into him and get a little pissed about that crap. Bend him, and then flex him left, and hands wide, and then flex him right. And say, damn it, keep cantering. Life goes on. But I would, in the first couple rounds, just let him go a little bit initially, because he's just so silly in his brain, it's like I wouldn't even try to fight it. But now I would say, all right, get your act together, buddy. Sit back. Collect a little more. Collect a little more, but put your leg on him when you collect him. Give some half holds. Say, slow down a little bit. Yeah, but stay in the saddle. Now, I would have that discussion with him, even if he sticks his neck in the air, because his